Through my channeling experience, I discovered that one way to develop trust in ourselves is to go to a place of power in the earth. The Way of St. James is the route traveled by spiritual pilgrims from southern France, across the northern part of Spain, to the Cathedral of St. James in Santiago. In this cathedral, I felt the strongest sensation of forgiveness I have ever felt. When I meditated in the cathedral, the council, which is the energy that I'm channeling now, told me that this is the place of union of masculine and feminine energies, and that this union is the moment of truth. When I asked what is truth, they answered that truth is in the heart, and it is in the heart that the earth and spirit, masculine and feminine energies are joined, and the cross is a symbol of this union. Many churches and cathedrals were designed in the shape of the cross for this reason. The Druids, who were the priests of the Celtics, knew that the life force of the human beings is fueled by two sources, the earth and the stars. They lived by the stars, they followed the stars, and they understood that there were places on the earth where the connection between the earth and the stars was especially strong. They built their villages on or near these places so they could attune to the energies of the stars and the earth and heal and open themselves to spiritual power. When we go to these places, we can enter into the intensity of the union of the electromagnetic force of the earth and the light of the stars. Here we can open our hearts more easily and accelerate our spiritual evolution. The early Christians also understood the power of these places, and many times they built their churches over the ruins of the ancient Druid temples. In this church, in the middle of Spain, we found a shrine which contained relics from many centuries ago. To my complete amazement, when I put my hands near the shrine, I felt strong heat. I asked the council later, how could this happen? And they answered that these relics contained radioactive energy that was assisting in balancing the Earth's energy field. I understood then that there are many places on the earth that keep the earth in balance. Places such as this church act as acupuncture points for the earth, either as receptors or transmitters or both, of energy between the stars and the earth. At this abandoned church, which is called the Church of the Pilgrims, we discovered a wall that contains strong energy. When I asked the council why the energy of this wall was so strong, they said that this wall contains a special mineral that acts as a conductor between the earth and the stars. This wall is a receptor of energy from the stars, similar to a lightning rod. There are other places on the earth that act as transmitters of energy, such as the rock formation at Mount Serrat near Barcelona. This is the site of a great cathedral dedicated to the Virgin Mary. When I meditated on top of these rocks, I learned that the early Christians understood that the source of divinity came from outer space. They felt the power of divine love here, and their minds created the images of Christianity to represent this love. I realized that the early priests traveled around the world looking for these places of power on which to build their churches. They understood this power and wanted to place their sanctuaries in the places that they could best experience this divine love. When we go to these places and meditate and open our hearts to love, we nourish and heal the earth as well, because it is in these places that the earth is most vulnerable and open to healing. In this way, our energy can be helpful to the earth through this time of transition and healing, in the same way that the earth can help us.
Creo que esto que viví yo y que estoy viviendo es un movimiento de transformación que viene en un momento de un proceso que yo inicié hace tiempo y que creo que nos debe llevar toda la vida. Esta experiencia es la más movilizante y la más intensa que yo he tenido en este camino que estoy haciendo para transformarme. Me ha tocado, me ha movilizado cosas que sabía intelectualmente. Me ha conectado con los cierres de energía en mi cuerpo, donde estaban. Me ha conectado con las emociones que había en esos cierres. Y me ha mostrado mis dificultades en otros.
Water is a strong conductor of healing energy. During or after a stressful situation, immersion in water can help relax and purify us. This is because water carries the electromagnetic force of the earth, which opens our energy systems for healing and refueling. Natural springs bring the water that is electrically charged from deep within the earth. When we drink or bathe in this water, we can open our energy fields more easily to this healing power. Lourdes is a strong example of the power of natural springs.